Hi DIYers, this is Frank at Alarm Grid. We're back in the Alarm Grid lab working on the 2 gig GC3 wireless self-contained alarm system. Today we'll be programming the Honeywell 5809 wireless heat detector. This is not a life safety device, but is a wireless heat detector designed to detect high heat at a fixed temp of 135. Mainly designed for either commercial properties or areas of the home that may have smoke. So, the most popular place for this would be a kitchen, so that you can avoid any smoke false alarms, but still protect and get the fire department out there during a fire in the kitchen area. So we'll show you how to program this into your GC3. The first thing you'll want to do is slide this counterclockwise, open up the unit, and put in your battery, which I've already done just before the video here. So we have the plus symbol going to the plus sign here. You'll see it has an RF test button here, and then a tamper switch. So we can use this RF test feature to actually enroll this particular unit into the keypad. We will go right into into the installer toolbox by hitting the 2 gig symbol on the top right, and then we'll enter our default installer code, which is 1561. If you've already changed that code, then you can just use that new installer code here. We'll do system config and then wireless zones. We'll go ahead and delete our previous zone here, and we'll start with zone 1. So we can hit edit zone on the right. We use the drop down here to swipe down all the way to 24-hour fire. This is type 9. There are 2 ways to program a smoke or heat detector. Either regular fire, which is basically a single trip, creates an alarm. That's type 9. Or you can go all the way down here to type 16, which is fire with verification. The difference there, if this is in a kitchen, and oftentimes you do, have false alarms. Generally with smoke detectors, that's where the fire with verification would come in. If this trips, generally it is the real thing. If you did want to set it to fire with verification, so that it has to trip twice to send out, you could do that if you have had false alarms in the past. Otherwise, we want to set this on type 9. I'm going to set this on type 9, which is 24-hour fire. So we'll keep that there and move to equipment code. We can scroll down here to where it says HW for Honeywell, and you'll see 0557 for the 5809, which is this device here. So we can then move to the next section. We have serial number. So here's where we can auto enroll this or manually enroll. So there's a serial number listed right here on the inside of the tamper cover, or the smoke head. You can also auto enroll using this RF test icon here. So we'll go ahead and show you how to auto enroll. We'll hit learn and then press and hold this, and you'll see 0448259, and that also says that there. So we'll accept that. Be cognizant when auto enrolling that if you have any motion detectors in the area, to avoid that from sending the serial number from that motion when it trips rather than the device you're trying to enroll. So that's why you always want to double check. So we can move down to the next field here. We have equipment age as new, the sensor loop. So for the 5809, we always want to use loop 1. You'll notice that it learned in as loop 2. That's because we use that test button. So just always set this to loop 1 for the 5809. And then we can move down to voice descriptor. We can put this in as the kitchen smoke. Always want to use, or actually kitchen heat. We always want to use the words that are listed in the white tab here. That way they will voice enunciate from the keypad. So we can now hit done. We'll go to Censor Reports. We always want fire devices to report to the central station, so we'll keep that enabled. Sensor supervised. We always want to keep an eye on this and make sure it's transmitting RF signal back and forth to the system. So we want to supervise that communication and make sure that it does stay online. If it ever does not ping back, you'll get an RF supervision trouble, where you can get a text and email through alarm.com or a phone call from the central station. So, that you can remedy whatever issue is causing that supervision error. Here, chimes I usually just disable on fire devices. The reason why is when this trips, it will trigger an alarm, so there's no need for a chime. So we'll go back to return to system config, back out. We can use this as a triple check to make sure we have the proper serial number. I already know that I auto-enrolled and double-checked, so that's fine. We'll hit save. And now at this point, what you could do is you could open this up, make sure you get the tamper, and you can even use this as a test, which we'll do right now, which we can press this RF test key again, and we'll see we get the fire. I'll use our master code, which is still on default, on 1111, and it says alarm report ready, cancel the dispatch, or cancel the transmission. I left that and let it go. I don't have this hooked up to a central station currently. If you do have central station monitoring, be sure to put your system on test before testing any smoke or heat detectors. We can clear the alarm history here after the test, and then we can put this tamper cover right back on. You want to line up these white plastic tabs here with these openings on the center. So we can just slide that in, turn clockwise, and lock it in. So that's how you program the Honeywell 5809 wireless heat detector with the 2 gig GC3. If you have any other questions on programming this device or any others with your GC3, you can email us at support@alarmgrid.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.